Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Pixarspective. We are, this is not the usual Pixarspective episode. This is technically a bonus because it's the first impressions episode.
First impressions,
because we just saw Lightyear.
Yes, you know that Lightyear, the movie everyone
more like Lightweight. More like
that one was mine.
More like light beer, which is the only thing that'll give me a buzz.
Now that one was yours, but
thank you. Well, I think light beer came from which I can't remember which Toy Story movie it was that called him light beer.
That was Toy Story 1.
That was Toy Story 1. Yeah.
If you're quoting it, it's probably from Toy Story 1.
True.
We're not talking about Toy Story 1 though. We're talking about light beer.
And as we all know, Buzz Lightyear is the toy inspired by the cartoon, inspired by the 1995 movie, inspired by the Queen song 39.
Cool.
It's the same plot. It's the exact same plot.
Oh. Okay, cool. On that note, we're doing this.
It's Night at the Opera. Come on, that's a classic.
Wait, like,
it's Queen.
God, I've seen Night of the Opera. I just didn't know Queen was involved.
No,
not.
Oh wait, you're talking about the
not Marx Brothers.
I'm talking about the album which they named Night at the Opera
by Queen.
Tribute.
Oh, Night at the Opera with the Marx Brothers is a lot more entertaining.
Okay.
We're gonna
kill the Queen, and we're gonna move on.
Don't kill the Queen.
The juice box. So we're finally talking about the 2022's Lightyear. Is this Pixar's first spin-off?
Did we introduce ourselves in first impressions?
If we want to, I'm the Wash.
I'm random bystander here.
I'm Count Rancid.
If I was a cat VTuber, my name would be Socks, and I'd be voiced by Peter Sohn, director of The Good Dinosaur.
Correct.
Yes.
We have a special guest.
Count Your name Rancid would be Thigh High Socks.
Yes. And there would be the little Socks face on the top.
Oh my God.
We got our
aspiring VTubers. You're welcome.
We got our good.
That one's
pal.
For free.
Yeah.
We got our good pal Count Rancid coming back. We've been. We haven't heard from him in a bit. Like we had Higurashi. We were so busy with that. Been a while since we heard from you. And you've been very insistent.
Specifically, it's been a while since I've done a first impressions. The last time we did a first impressions together, in fact, we were all still allowed to go to the theater. And then that changed rapidly over the course of recording.
That's true. The last time we had you on for a first impression, we watched the Simpsons short with Maggie.
Oh, yeah. There was no short here, at least not for me.
Oh, my God. I forgot about the Simpsons short.
They literally said, fuck you to the short, and it was like...
All right, can I start this first impressions off on the right foot, my friend?
Sure.
I saw the movie today. This is becoming a pretty bad... I went from seeing everything that we watched well in advance to cutting it really close. So I ordered my ticket today. I got it for $4.40 because I get out of work at 4:30, and, coming attractions, that takes about a half hour. That would have given me more than enough time to get there and get home within reasonable time to cool down before we started recording. The theater was a 20-minute drive from my job, so that fit perfect. However, I didn't have anything to eat all day, so I stopped to get fast food real quick. It only took me about 5 minutes. It was very fast. And then I looked at how long it was to get to the theater, and it was 35 minutes because traffic was really backed up. So when I walked into the theater, I missed part of the opening. The first thing I heard was, "Hi, my name is Socks." I'm your buddy helper or whatever.
Oh no!
So let me tell you, I could follow the plot fine. Nothing was lost on me, but I did not see the whole movie.
Oh no!
Pretty much the only plot you missed was
time travel.
Well, establishing the planet specifically.
Yeah, which I picked up on that as the movie went along. It's not like, they don't repeat a lot of things.
It's still a hell of a way to enter in. I remember I had a very similar thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, and that just confused the fuck out of me tonally.
I think the only thing you missed really was the only scene with Bill Hader.
Bill Hader was in this?
Yeah,
Bill Hader was the rookie.
Yeah, that's the rookie that both Randon and I thought were the twist villain. Okay, wait, before we get started, this is 98% unedited, in case my cat just decides to jump on top of my deck again, and 100% spoilers.
Yes.
So
when we say first impressions, we mean first.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get spoiled, this is your warning right now.
Go watch the movie or don't. I don't give a shit. But
it doesn't matter.
Just be warned. Spoilers here.
Yeah.
Don't watch the movie like most of America.
Go see the new Jurassic Park or Top Gun or fucking
I don't know, just stay home. None of those movies really sound worth it.
Yeah, stay home and watch Turning Red again. Honestly.
That's true.
Like the Buzz Lightyear Star Command, The Adventure Begins is on YouTube and archive.org. Go over there.
Hey, I think let's talk more about our first impressions. I just went after work myself. I know. The thing is, I was going to see the show at 6:20. I didn't buy my ticket yet, and because I got out of work at 6, it takes 10 minutes to theater. I'm taking care of my mom at the moment, and she's like, "Hey, can you bring home some turkey?" And I'm like, "All right, fine, sure." So I brought a turkey. I had to go home because I can't leave turkey in the car for about an hour and 40 minutes.
Well, you just have to roll the windows down so it doesn't,
It'll be fine.
Deal with the bugs
later.
In
New Jersey, I'm not.
He's fine. He's listening to his favorite music.
The turkey will be fine.
So I just got home. There was a show at 6:50, but I literally had to bolt. 'Cause I literally had time to I literally stuffed a mozzarella stick in my mouth. Let Rory out, and then let Rory back in. Drove. Literally made it a minute before the show. A minute after the show started. It was previews, so it was fine. I made it all. I saw all of it, but I was a part of me dreaded seeing this in theaters, not just because Lightyear, but also because I've gotten so spoiled with watching all the Pixar films on Disney Plus, right away in the comfort of my own home. Literally, the last 3 Pixar films were just automatically available at my house. And then this one, they're like, nope, put it in theaters because it's related to Toy Story and will make money, apparently. And
cute.
Yeah, as per tradition, I just got back from a 14-hour flight to Moscow. It's not as legal as it used to be. I think I may have committed a crime by doing so. But apparently, they may have cut some stuff out. This movie has lesbians? I was not aware.
Did they cut that out of your version? Because I actually saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too. They cut out of your version.
I mean, it's the Disney lesbians, right? They're so insignificant, you blink and you miss. But they were there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it was just a big screen of Putin wagging his finger like Dennis Nedry. No, can't do that.
You didn't say the single word. You didn't detect Ukraine. Too political. Sorry.
Yeah, it was only 5 seconds the kiss lasted.
I have to look at when I was going. I finished up the. So I'll say I just went on a Sunday afternoon. I just drove over there. I got some like chocolate almonds. Just situated myself. Watched some of the whatever the Crypto Superdog movie.
Yeah.
The crowd ate that up. They ate that up more than most of the movie.
Really? Really?
Yeah, they love the
It's-
Crypto Superdog.
It's got Keanu Reeves, right?
It got Keanu Reeves. It got Kevin Hart. It's got what you're looking for.
names you recognize.
Yeah. But I watched it and afterwards I went back to the car and per usual for something like this I like to like take notes while things are still fresh in my mind. And I'm scrolling through the Wikipedia page and it's talking about how it got banned in some countries for a lesbian kiss. I have to. There's a same-sex kiss.
Yep.
Like,
There is.
I and things
I
that-
can't help but
it was
notice
like a kiss.
that
Was it a
the
kiss
en-
to the cheek?
No.
No,
it
it was mouth to mouth.
It was like lip to lip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was super blink. I must have blinked real hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't help but notice that all of it is either dialogue about the wedding ring, which can easily be overdubbed in a foreign language, and
Mhm.
also all of the scenes of that couple together occurred in a montage, which would have
Yep.
been very easy to cut out.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting. It's almost like they deliberately made it as irrelevant to the plot as possible. That's that's a real stumper.
Yeah.
Also, maybe it's just because I haven't watched a lot of kids movies recently, but like when she reveals she's gotten married, and Buzz, like, understandably is like, "You married a woman you just met?" I thought, like, is that a joke about how lesbians move in together quickly? Oh no, right, time dilation.
I thought it was just a joke about Disney.
I missed that part, so I don't know.
Yeah, that was just before.
That's just, that is like seconds before he walks into his living quarters, and there's the cat.
I was
Yeah.
seconds too late.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just like a riff on Disney for a second. Like, we're Pixar, not Disney. We don't do that shit. But, Because Disney loves to make fun of themselves with that, and it's spreading a bit into Pixar. I'm just like, come on.
Well, this is like 2 Pixar movies now where gay representation has been put entirely on the backs of black and black coded lesbians.
There's the you're talking like
Spectre.
Onward as well, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. The first ever lesbian in a Pixar film. That was like the first the first gay person in the Pixar film, like number 3 at that point. I can't even remember. I think the first one was like Finding Dory, but I can't.
I won't deny Turning Red shook it up a bit by having, not just one character, potentially.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's just never made like explicit. Just anyway, we gotta talk about Lightyear for God's sake. We've been talking for 14 minutes.
Nuts.
Can you tell we love the film? It was so thrilling. But basically, the plot synopsis was just to, not only just to inform everybody is Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear. No, actually, let me go even further. This is the movie that Andy watched in 1995.
For
it very
whom?
explicitly tells you at the beginning.
I missed that too. Oh my god, I missed the best parts.
Who? It's just
that's
3
the
title
whole
cards.
thing.
It's like,
It's literally
who the fuck could possibly care?
yeah. No, we knew this. You told us this when you advertised the movie. We don't need to know this.
Do you think that that this is like in response to like the meme going around where like people are thinking that like Buzz Lightyear is a movie based on the real person? Like, are they
Like
just
Buzz
trying to
Aldrin?
like cut that in the bud of just saying like, no, this is not there's not a real person named Buzz Lightyear in Andy's universe. This is a fiction within a fiction.
Maybe, I don't know, and more importantly, I don't care.
Apparently this was a thing that that for whatever fucking reason, Angus MacLean wanted to pitch this. Like, he made Finding Dory with Andrew Stanton. You know, he got a chance to pitch his own idea, and what he went with was, hey, what kind of movies did Andy watch as a kid that made him want to buy toys? That's what you got? That's what you got, fuckface? Come on.
He's got Toy Story fan fiction. That's what he's got. This is a Toy Story fanfic.
I am genuinely so contemptuous of this idea.
It's not a great idea, I'm not gonna lie.
The specific timing of it, because you said Finding Dory, 2016. And the specific timing of that, because guess who was still the head of Pixar around that time? And this is it's like
That's
realizing
right.
that
Unnamed director J.K. Rowling.
Unnamed directing the Nostalgia Critic.
Oh no, no.
But yeah, I was. It just.
It feels like an old Pixar.
Yeah, it does.
That's what my point is. That it feels like the mid 2010s Pixar.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the new age of original ideas Pixar has had with the last 3 films. Hell, even Onward. Even Onward.
It's not like it's not new Pixar, but it's also not lunch at diner placemat Pixar. You know, like the collection of early pitches. So what you're left with in between is the kind of weird connective tissue of kind of spinning your wheels with stuff like Finding Dory and The Incredibles 2 and what the fuck are we gonna do
Monsters
now?
University.
Monsters University. Even, and I'm sorry everyone, Toy Story 3 is kind of spinning the old wheels a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Yep, no.
I mean, like it or not, it kind of is.
And Toy Story 4, don't forget about that.
And Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, because this is the 3rd year now that we've had 2 Pixar films in 1 year. Do you think that do you think they know that one of them is not going to be as good as the other?
Yeah.
Are you saying that Inside Out isn't as good as The Good Dinosaur?
Well, it's great in a different way, but
we joke about The Good Dinosaur, but like as far as like the second movie that came out in 1 year goes, it's probably the best one.
You know, as a director, I have to say Peter Sohn is a surprisingly competent actor.
You know what?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, talking about The Good Dinosaur, he played like the best character in that movie.
He really did. And you know what? I'll argue he plays the best character in this.
It's not one I'll contest.
I really can't think of any other characters that like
was there a cat in Turning Red? No, right?
No. Well,
no.
Oh, but the box of kittens. That's what I was thinking of.
There was a box of kittens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was.
Oh yeah, there was a box of kittens, but there was obviously there was the cat and Luca.
Love that.
Well,
cat.
yeah.
So still the best Pixar cat. I'm sorry, Socks.
No, I agree. I agree 110%. No cat will beat the cat and Luca.
If Socks had a mustache, maybe he'd be in the running, but otherwise...
Unfortunately, here we are.
We still haven't talked about the plot, technically.
Well,
this is going to be an
episode. The plot already. The plot is like...
The story of Buzz...
You're in a movie theater, you're watching a sci-fi film.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And it's it's Buzz Lightyear, and he fucks up and maroons everybody, and they all have to live in this weird planet. And Buzz is like, I have to finish the mission at all costs. And every time he travels to the mission, he time travels 3 or 4 years. And he keeps doing it, and he loses his partner, whose name I forget.
Alicia?
Alicia, yes, there it is. And then they're like, then eventually he figures out the formula, the Krabby Patty secret formula to go into space. And then then it works. He sneaks onto the ship with his cat Socks. But then finds out when he comes back, he realized that everybody's under attack. And
and it also skipped like 20 years instead of 4 years.
Yep, skipped 20 years, and then he has to work with Alicia's daughter,
granddaughter,
who's voiced by Keke Palmer. I don't know her name, character name.
Izzy.
Yeah. And an elderly convict, and Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi as Taika Waititi character, TBA.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
not much further than that.
Yeah, and they all work together as Buzz. How should I put this? Has to go again. Buzz has to deal with so many conflicts, including himself.
Yeah, the trailer, and I was honestly kind of astonished to learn how long it takes to get going. Is I was under the impression that it's just a normal test flight, and Buzz is suddenly thrown like 100 years into the future, as opposed to the long, weird montage of him being totally unable to accept his failure. So just over a course of about a month, he hammers through the timeline like 4 years at a time. Suddenly Alicia is married. Suddenly she's having a kid. Suddenly that kid is graduating from college.
Yep, graduating from college or maybe high school. One of those.
They're having a wedding anniversary, and then it's like, it's like, I could have understood this without all of it. But this kind of harkens back to a core tenet of the movie, which is that it does not trust you to get things.
No. Also, in my opinion, I just felt like it was trying to recreate the Up montage, but doing it in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Honestly, like what Claire just said, that you're watching a sci-fi movie in the theater, it about sums up what this is supposed to feel like. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed to feel like you're watching Alien, 2001, Lost in Space, inexplicably, the 1998 Lost in Space. You're just watching all these like sci-fi classics and tropes. Like they're all over the place. Obviously, 2001. Sock the Cat is very similar to the cat in Alien, which happens to be McClane's favorite movie. So,
also, of course, the cryopods of the science crew are very similar to the Nostromo.
Also from Alien and 2001. It's got all the
there's a very direct direct and stupid 2001 shout out with the autopilot at one point.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, she kept saying like, autopilot. It's like every time, it's like it wasn't funny the first time, and she kept saying it. I didn't get it at all.
I think they had an idea that it was the sort of running gag that is situational. Like he keeps encountering an autopilot in
Yeah.
new ways, and that's gonna make it funny, but it's not really encountering it in new ways. Like he's always climbing into a cockpit when he encounters Ivan. So
Yeah.
it's not even an especially varied experience. It just it's a joke that's DOA the first time, and it fails to improve upon itself. It just repeats.
And sadly, that's kind of a pattern of of like jokes that didn't work the first time being repeated again and again. Like my theater at least was pretty quiet during most of the comic release stuff. There's like a couple jokes that they responded to, but mostly it was just a little silent. Um, the biggest laugh, of course, being from Stocks.
Yep.
Yep.
The
My theater was me and one other person. I didn't laugh, but the other person got some good chuckles out of Socks.
I had the best joke with Socks spoiled for me by this very chat, and yet I still gave a sensible chuckle when I saw it in action.
What joke? What joke?
The fact that Socks has a built-in tranquilizer dart for emergencies.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I
just bought you 5 minutes.
With I wore Grant to Peter Stone, director of The Good Dinosaur. He delivered that really well.
Yeah, that's literally the best joke in the movie.
Yeah, so I no disrespect or anything, but I wasn't crazy about the voice acting, but I gotta give it to Peter Stone. We were talking about this before. I like him.
You know what it is? I haven't realized this. He's doing Doug. He's doing Doug from Up. Like
He's
that.
doing Doug.
Oh yeah.
He's doing that same cadence, but I mean, obviously that was a Bob Peterson performance. It was a very similar cadence that he just.
Bob Peterson, Peter Stone, the piece is fat.
Oh my God!
They're the same person.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone in the film is not required to stretch too much from the roles they're usually cast in. Like Chris Evans is what could charitably be described as a Chris Evans type.
Yep.
Keke Palmer plays a Keke Palmer type. Taika Waititi, as we have mentioned, plays a Korg-ish character, and Dale Souls is challenged so little that her role in this film, much like Orange is the New Black, is just literally an elderly convict.
And
I feel like she could have been really funny. Like there are some points where, like, you know, there was a joke with her on screen or whatever, and I thought, I think I should be laughing, but I am not.
Yeah. Like I think there's like an internal laugh. It's like I appreciate that. I'm not laughing, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's how I felt with her, at least. Like with Taika Waititi, no. But like even with the pen, I'm like, okay.
The pen.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's gonna come in. It's gonna come into
gonna...
play. It's gonna come into play. We get it. We get it. Just do the thing. Do the thing.
Oh, look at this! My suit has a gun. I put it down on this table in the parlor. I hope no one fires it. Taika Waititi.
The three of them really bothered me because they were like, "Oh yeah, we can do this thing," and Buzz is like, "No, you can't. I can't put you guys in danger." And they were like, "Buzz, we gotta do this together." I mean, they say all those things like a million times, as Rancid has said.
Yes.
But
specifically, I was thinking
my problem with it is that it's like, no,
they
Buzz
genuinely
is right.
can't do those things.
Buzz is right. And he's just played to be wrong, and it's like, because the trope says otherwise, or the cliche says otherwise. It's like, no.
Like, I can understand if Izzy was just gung-ho, but a little inexperienced. But she is honestly kind of dumb.
Yeah,
She
I don't.
keeps saying, like, because that's what a Hawthorne would do. And there's never a moment where, like, and there's always, like, Buzz trying to say, like, that's, that's true, but there's more to it than just that. There's never a moment where he just, like, snaps and says, please stop comparing yourself to her.
Because all the tropes with her are like, hey, I am a young person, get it? Being compared to my grandma, changing older ideas, making them more fun, not being helpful. Because that's what young people are, right?
Yup. Yup.
I didn't really get that, but it's just it's a very presumptive attitude to take.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
With
Buzz felt like sci-fi dude. She felt like Cars 3 writing young people. The other two felt like comic relief, and Socks felt like a cat. Ergo, Socks was the best character.
Yup.
What
did you guys?
I think my problem with this, like, I was sitting in the car thinking about, okay, I don't feel like I enjoyed this. Why? And I had to think on it, and I think my issue is, like, Buzz needs a better foil. Like the whole his whole thing, like, since Toy Story, and of course they expanded that in the cartoons and so many others, is that, like, at least like original, like, mint condition Buzz is clinical, by the book, all about procedures. Like in this movie, like Buzz, like court martials himself. Like, he's just that into procedures that after one massive screw up, he says, arrest me, just lock me up inside this shit and leave me to die. And it's like, okay, Toy Story and so many others, and even the show, I feel that you need a better foil against that clinicism, the clinical attitude. And, like, Alicia is sort of that, but I don't know that, like, most of the others can really do it. Like, I don't
specifically think that... Alicia is the knowing friend. Like, she's the one who encourages him to, keep going. You're a space ranger. You made a mistake, you fix it. That's your duty. Yeah. And Izzy is has her own massive screw up at some point, but it's kind of shown to be a I think the difference is like I'm not really sure they can be compared because they are under different circumstances. Both were, done in a moment of danger, but Buzz was taking more of a calculated risk, whereas Izzy was just being impulsive. And like they both have that daring to them, but I don't know. I feel like Buzz is like punishes himself a little bit more for it. Like, obviously there's Izzy just going near catatonic, just unable to cope with that failure. But I don't know. I don't really feel the situations were as comparable as the movie would like us to believe they were.
Speaking of her big mistake, though, I really want to talk about these. So she makes that mistake. She gets off the ship. She apologizes to Buzz, but it's okay. We can do something, right? No, there's nothing we can do. The mission's over. Buzz, where are you going? I just need some time to be by myself. Boom! boom! Zurg shoots his arm thing, and now there's a big chase. We got to talk about these mood whiplashes, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking of, like, Good Dinosaur, like, that intense.
Yeah.
Oh god. Speaking of truly unrewarding running gags, the
Laser shield.
fucking Burnside. Like at the end of the
right.
at the end of the terrible at the end of the terrible up ripoff montage where Buzz is like forced to confront the last recorded memory of his dead friend. This character, Commander Burnside, Hawthorne's replacement, bursts in, and he has 2 words that he is fixated on, ironically enough, like a laser shield. He's going to build a laser shield. He's going to love him some laser shield. It never gets funny. It never gets interesting.
Man, what are you talking about? That's the joke we're putting in the post credits. It has to be funny.
I was gonna watch, like, because you had all told me that there was 2 things and a tease.
3.
Well, no, 2 things and a tease. So,
2 things and a tease, yeah.
The tease happened right away, so I was like, okay, well, there's other 2 little things, let's see. And then I saw the lasers, and I went, okay, and I laughed.
No, that wasn't the tease, though.
No, the tease was obvious. I know. The tease Never mind.
The tease was at the very end, like after like the Pixar lamp.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Lightyear 2.
Well,
kind of.
Oh, what was the tease?
The tease was Zurg floating in space, and then his eyes light up for the 5th time in this movie.
Oh, okay. So, this has nothing to do with Lightyear, but when you had told me that there is a tease at the end of this movie, my bold prediction going into this was that this would be the start of, like, the Pixar cinematic universe or whatever, and that these would all be, like, connected. And what movie is after Toy Story? Of course, A Bug's Life. I thought the tease was gonna be, like, Flick wearing the Buzz Lightyear thing, and we'd be getting this, like, Bug or something. I was tense. So good to know that everybody's favorite Bug isn't here.
What if one of the insectoids in the swarm just suddenly was voiced by Dave Foley? Terrible.
I'd love to hear Dave Foley again.
I would not.
Oh, he's got that Amazon money now. He's fine.
Yeah.
All the kids are fine.
No, Larry, no! Don't go into the laser shield! I can't help it. It's so beautiful. Laser shield. See, that's how you make it funny.
God,
What was it?
I suppose this is the part of the recap, the impressions where we get to what may be the most thinly written character in the movie. Even more than a character whose sole trait, aside from being bossy, is an obsession with a defense system. I think we have to talk about Zurg.
How do you ruin Zurg?
No, here, like, probably my least favorite thing about the whole movie, hands down. They ruined Zurg, which is, like, okay. And you can even argue that, like, you know, I wouldn't. There is continuity problems with Toy Story 2, of course. But that's not what I'm gonna say. What I am going to say, we'll call him Evil Buzz because, haha, Toy Story standard. There has to be a regular Buzz and a not regular Buzz.
Oh God!
There's always multiple buzzes.
There's always multiple buzzes. I don't know why you hung on to that.
Kidding me?
Anyway. When quote unquote Evil Buzz says, we can go back in time and fix everything. And then regular Buzz is like, oh man, they're not gonna have their families anymore, and that's why he doesn't go through with it. It's like, dude, you go back in time, these people are going to be born again. Nobody's going away. You're fixing a problem, and then these people who you're like, oh no, they have memories and families and friends. They are going to have those memories and families and friends again.
I'm so glad you picked up on that, because I was so baffled by this confrontation, especially with
guess
Buzz.
The operative logic is that since they were likely born on the base,
yeah,
that the circumstances that led to their births would not have happened.
I guess, but they still would have been like the same people with a better. I don't want to do this because it's spoilers and we just talked about it for like 8 months. But I remember you and Random and Wash, when we went through Higurashi 9, had a problem with the decision that a certain character made. The reason why I think it works there, I'm gonna mostly talk about this just to keep it spoiler free, but I think it works there because the character went through so much with the people they were trying to get back to. That was the core of it. Here, it's like, you barely met them, but you know that things would be better. It's not like you have any specific kind of ties to them. That's if Buzz actually did have a strong attachment to these people, maybe, but he doesn't.
If we're gonna go with that, my issue with it compared to what happened in Higurashi 9, again without getting into the spoilers, is that the premise is not that other timeline gets erased. This is something that it's never been explained, and it always infuriates me with like time travel movies. I just can't get into them with the sort of like moon logic they have. Is that it's like, what is this then? Are there 2 timelines, or is this somehow like one timeline that just keeps erasing itself? Because old Buzz is here from the future. What is happening?
What happens in the movie is a form of the twin paradox, which they seem to have confused to mean actually 2 separate people. But the thing about the twin paradox is that one character stays moored in normal, progressive, and inexorable 4th dimensional time, and the other is traveling at a certain and the other is
like
not traveling. So
yeah.
The paradox in that is not that there are 2 people suddenly. It's that one twin, that the twins born at the same time, but one is now significantly older than the other. That's they don't talk about alternate timelines at all. They spend a little bit of time on layman's definition of time dilation, which, I mean, we see like Buzz working out flight calculations and shit on his windshield on the fly. I don't see why this would be so foreign or inexplicable to him. But
I just real quick, I did notice like in the credits somebody was credited for math. I don't know, something. We just got a math guy to come in.
This is not. I guess for the equation itself, but this is not exactly. This is not even Futurama level math.
No,
not even close.
Not even close. No, but
I'm just so. I'm not only baffled by the existence of Old Buzz, I am genuinely kind of baffled by his motives, other than he's sort of, I would directly compare him to a Muntz figure that has grown embittered with age and solitude and failure.
Yeah, I was thinking of Months a lot too, just because
Yeah.
like the reveal was similarly goofy. I am not a fan of Months. It's still, as despite how long it's been, I'm still not a fan. However, if we were to compare these two, Months is significantly better for reasons that Wash has said extensively in the podcast, but the TLDR is that it actually reflects Carl's journey. Here, it starts Buzz's bizarre change of heart. I guess it
shows,
ruins Zurg in the meantime, man.
Like instead of suddenly contrasting Buzz with the person he isn't, with the person he will eventually become, which we are going to call better. Like Carl has changed as a person, and Muntz has changed for the worse. There are like palpable differences between them. He started off admiring this man, whereas with Lightyear, I don't know, like it's a sense of duty that got warped into a bizarre and unquestioning imperative to regain lost pride because he feels like such a failure. Like, I've got to do it. I've got to complete the mission above all else. Like, that's genuinely not as compelling a narrative as having to confront your own deficiencies, not in yourself, or rather a person that you haven't even become yet, but specifically in your idols, in the people that you looked up to and you now find have sunk so very far below you.
Random, what are your thoughts? Random?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
Hello?
Yeah.
At least you're there. At least you're still here.
I'm here.
I just generally don't. I just don't.
I'm
get
fucking bummed, man. Like,
I don't get the Zerg.
No, when
I
because I compared him to Charles once too. You were one of the first people I thought of random. I was like, oh, he's not happy.
like
specifically, like, I think both you and Random were both you, Random, and Wash were saying, oh, it's going to be the rookie at the end. And I pointed out, well, that would just be the Incredibles, right?
yeah.
Like, it's like this little minor character that the hero belittles and grows up to be this embittered jagoff. I actually had a theory of my own that it was going to be a robot. It was going to be a robot stranded there by an uncaring inventor, or maybe it was a probe or something that had developed sentience, sort of a Star Trek kind of thing. And
or maybe it's like something that came in from the Galactic Alliance,
like the AI. Like,
yeah, it's like something that I in lieu of any actual knowledge, I was thinking it was something like, oh, this probe has been programmed to scout the area, or do geological surveys or something, and it's just it has grown self-aware, and it has become embittered despite continuing in its process. And I thought, or that maybe it was going to be an inventor in a not far from the truth. It was going to be an inventor or something that had gone crazy in Decades of Solitude, and build himself this robot suit. Like, I don't need anyone. I'm I'm perfectly fine where I am, but it's kind of tragic that I came so close, and I did not consider that this was also technically a time travel plot. So I did not
Yeah.
think of the bad, like the most predictable time travel villain angle. Like I made a guess based entirely on cliches about how like Buzz would be confronted with the most literal metaphor about why you need friends and accomplishments aren't worth anything if they're not worth sharing. And what they came up with like all their Hollywood money and their script doctors and their revisions and drafts was worse than my guess.
Can I give you my thoughts?
Go right
Yeah,
now. I was just gonna say.
Zurg
I was just gonna
bites.
say.
You know what? As much as I think this movie is very bland and bare bones and cliched, a part of me was still kind of into it. Part of me was like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. Let's see where the ride is.
Yeah,
And I was willing
it's definitely actiony.
and
There's some decent action sequences.
and I saw the Zurg robot outfit, and you know what? Zurg looks cool. He does look cool.
Mhm.
If you
He
think,
does,
like
I
the robot,
I really like the design.
the design, like I at first I was like a little worn out, but like then I like saw the scale of it and like compared to everyone else and like how it like lights up and shit, it looks good. And I was
Bigger
like,
we've ever seen Zurg in any property.
yeah. And I was like, okay, who's it gonna be? And you know what? As much as would have been sloppy for the rookie to be it, it would have been so funny if Buzz was like, "Who are you?" And then he was like, "You don't recognize his face," and he removes the Zurg helmet, and you just see the baby face eyes. Tell me that would have been
That's
somewhat
exactly
funny.
where I thought this was gonna go. I thought it was gonna go for because it just kept talking about again and again rookies, and you have this one character who disappears for the rest of the film.
Yeah,
All this time and you still don't remember my name? No, I don't.
No, I don't. And yes, it would have been incredible, but also like that's pretty much what it was. It was fly home, buddy. I work alone.
pretty much. And if you're gonna do it, be consistent. I didn't see evil Buzz coming.
I mean, like,
But that was the moment when I took myself out of the film. That was the moment where I stopped caring.
It's like kind of two jokes in one. You can do like an elderly version of the rookie's face, which Buzz does not recognize at all. Like, don't tell me you don't recognize this face. It's like,
even the elder still has the baby face.
and
Yeah.
and then it's it's suddenly extreme close up on the gleaming baby eyes, and he's like, oh! But that would have been kind
Feathering them,
Fu-
feather, rookie. That would be the way to tie it all together. Because
You couldn't remember my name, so I chose a new one. It's short.
it's Zurg. Zurg is my father's name.
Speaking
Even
of
you can remember
father,
that one,
no.
right?
Speaking of dad, when Zurg takes when he comes out of the robot and Buzz says "Dad," I would not have thought of Toy Story 2 if the movie didn't put that together.
Oh
But
my
because
god.
he says "Dad," it's like, oh, Zurg is Buzz's father. That's the whole joke in Toy Story, which, mind you, is much funnier than this movie.
Yep.
I haven't just recently watched Toy Story 2 for the first time in like 3 years. It is. I still think it's mid, but it's definitely funnier than Lightyear.
Toy
I
Story
don't
2
think like,
is clever enough to play that kind of reveal for laughs.
Yeah.
yeah. This is not. This was taking itself too seriously. Like there were jokes,
God.
but like
Way too seriously. Oh my god.
I really stopped caring after that twist reveal. Like
It's
Really?
unfortunate.
Do you wanna
when-
know?
himself. He's fighting himself. He's
wanna
fighting
know?
himself.
Do you want to know the one time I audibly gasped and had nothing to do with what happened? It was the character involved. When Zurg steps on
His
future socks and he dies.
Yep.
It wasn't because I was surprised that the movie went in that direction. It's because he killed Socks. And it's like, no, he's a good cat. I like him. Don't you kill Peter's son.
Don't you kill Terminator?
I was literally going to be like, if they actually killed the Socks, they killed Socks, I was going to walk out of the theater. Because he was the one thing that was still entertaining about it to me.
The weird thing is that this is inspired by Star Wars, but it's not that fun.
No, it takes itself too seriously, and it's despite being a fan fiction of Toy Story.
Do you think it's odd that for a brief moment, when Socks is helping Buzz kind of seems to have forgotten the Socks he bonded with and is now willing to take like this beat to shit Five Nights at Freddy's version with them instead because
he saved his life.
He just wants to have a Socks to keep him companions.
Oh God, that's a grammatical nightmare. You would call him a Socks. That's a grammatical. Oh my God. And that's why this movie sucks.
I hate time travel plots.
They can work. It's just you really need to think it through.
Yeah, and they didn't.
I think the big thing is like you gotta prioritize characters.
Yeah, and they don't.
Like people aren't crazy about Back to the Future because of time travel shenanigans. They're crazy about it because they love Marty. They love Doc. They
even love Biff.
All the different characters that you meet along. They love Biff. They love all the different characters.
Yeah,
because the film prioritizes characters, and it was actually conceived first as a film about like a son realizing that like his father used to be a very different person than he thought he was, and the time travel just kind of came out of that.
Yep. But this one is just like, hey, I'm evil because I time traveled. And I want to do everything in my power. Or even if it means, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's Spider-Man Edge of Time, which I only now know about because of Rancid. The exact same twist.
I wanna.
So I mean,
bad.
I'll say at least I was in a pretty bad mood when I watched this because I was late. I hadn't eaten all day, so my head was throbbing. So I wasn't in the best of mood, but this is gonna sound nice at first, but it's not really. I didn't hate it. I definitely didn't hate it. The problem is that hate is an emotion, and that's why. I'll get more into this with the final thoughts, I guess. But like I said before, with all the mood whiplashes, I was constantly reminded of Good Dinosaur. Between how the movie treated the millennials and how, let's call them millennials, and how that successor to Hawthorne, he was like, oh, I was such a big fan of you as a kid. I was like, it's Sterling, Cars 3. So I was thinking of a lot of movies that I have strong opinions towards. And, I'm thinking about them and it's like, is Lightyear better? I think so. But I feel towards these. And I think about what I feel about Lightyear, and it's Socks. I feel Socks. But and I've argued this, especially with A Bug's Life. I've argued this point. When I watch something, I want to care. I want to get invested. I want to at least have a time. I don't care if it's a good time or a bad time, so long as I'm not left questioning why people are still alive, with A Bug's Life. I want to have something. I didn't get that except for Cool Cat.
There's forms of mediocrity that are infuriating, and there's forms that are just kind of numbing.
Yeah. Numbing might be too strong, but it's definitely an adjective of numbing, yeah.
Indifference.
I would call
indifference. No, that's it.
Way more numbing. Although I was also angry as fuck.
I think I also feel Cars 3 is more numbing than this. I'm not gonna lie, I was interested in a few things with it. I was along for the ride.
I was along for the I was along for the ride in that I was like strapped onto the seat and I couldn't really leave until the ride was over. Like I was just taken in the sights and it just kind of flushes out after a while.
I actually got is an interesting point during my one trip to Disney World as a child that that Buzz Lightyear shoot 'em up ride.
I remember
actually,
that. Yep.
That was my favorite ride.
When I was riding it, it actually malfunctioned, and I was stuck there for 15 minutes. Watching Lightyear is much the same.
Well, it's not 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's true. There's also less day glow.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just say, like, this movie is technically gorgeous. I say technically, but, like, you know how much color Turning Red had? You know how much, like, brightness and, like, color and just popping energy it had with different styles? This movie feels like a Call of Duty game sometimes.
I will give this small defense, that this is not supposed to be like Turning Red Up, any of those, because in the framing device, this is actually supposed to be a live action movie. Like in universe, this is supposed to be live action.
I mean, for 1995, they must have had some truly kick-ass practical effects.
Yeah, I know.
I'm super impressed. But like compared to like 1998 Lost in Space, where you had the worst monkeys you've ever seen,
the truly dire-looking spider Gary Oldman.
I kind of wish it went with like a 90s film like trope, like we knew it was a film almost. Like we did know it was a film, but like other than that first opening,
like
you
a
wouldn't
certain
have
kind of cheapness to it?
Yeah, kind of. Like just to give it some personality.
I think
if they really wanted to go with the play it straight, then I can understand. It's just like my problem. I mean, I get like this is a very weak defense, so pardon me for blowing in the general direction of your defense wash and completely knocking it over. You are correct. This isn't supposed to be a film like Turning Red or Luca or Soul. But to compare it to a film that didn't have that much going on in terms of like visual inventiveness, but you can still, like, I'm not saying this movie has great animation or anything, but you look at it and you go, oh yeah, that's Onward. Onward. You look at Onward, you know it's Onward. You look at Lightyear, it's a movie.
The thing is that, like, it's hard to, like, whether this is supposed to be, like, a 90s film.
No, it was an artistic choice. It just didn't turn out that popping. That's all.
Yeah, I understand that there must have been a truly massive amount of concept art for everything, as there is for any animated film. But in a way, Lightyear was both more creative than Onward, which is a movie that, will feature a store with a sign out front that says, like, podiatrist but goblin. Like, it's very clearly based on the real world, and yet it just kind of washes over you. There's not a lot of not a lot of pop to it.
It feels like
it contributes to an overall effect that you are watching a sci-fi movie.
It just feels like a generic. You know how games like Nintendo have like a whole bunch of color popping and there's something unique about it, but yet a lot of games, just like the first-person shooters, have like that same look, same style, same.
I'm gonna cut you off right there because like every Nintendo fan makes this argument, and it's like outside of like the 5 that are doing the same thing, it's just not true. I'm just gonna cut you off.
Okay, let me forget Nintendo. Call of Duty. Again, I just kept getting like this gray vibes everywhere, and it's just like, I know that's the style of the plan they're going for, but it's just like, it would have been nice to just see a color other than dark and brown. And
I mean,
black for
if you're gonna
space.
bring up Call of Duty, I'll bring up Halo. That's a first-person shooter game made in the West, and that game, you look at Halo, that game's got popping colors. That game, but it's still like a futuristic sci-fi kind of thing. But you look at Halo, you know that's Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, Call of Duty saves its colors for its modes, I guess.
I again,
It
I don't
gets
really
downright
know
inventive.
Maybe this is a bad. My point is, I just don't feel like it feels generic to me.
Your point is that you need to play more games.
Not Call of Duty.
Oh wow, wow!
You're probably
get
right.
pulled off streamer.
You know what? You're right. I'll start by playing the Dog Island, shiver with just as much mood whiplash as fucking Lightyear and
oh god, that's right.
And
with
Good
the, with
Dinosaur.
the pirate saying like some
Shiver Me Timbers.
shiver me
Somebody
timbers,
call a
somebody
doctor.
Good grief, that is horrific.
But would you? But either way, that's fuck. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I don't hate the film either. I guess I just feel disappointed. And that's
okay. I realize this is like an hour in. Do we gotta do a therapy exercise? Do we gotta like list down some positives? Because
I mean,
we've been-
even ignoring
You have
socks
been,
and
yeah.
the animation that doesn't count. Well, actually, no, literally
we're
doesn't
not
count.
gonna count visuals because that's
No. But here's the thing, because I said this before. Like, I can think of a fair few amount of positives, why their individual moments are like actual things that I thought worked. I can, if you want me to, I can. The problem is that I don't feel anything towards anything.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, and again, the twist just ruined it for me. Like, I hate that fucking twist so goddamn much, and it just ruins the film for me. I probably can rewatch it now, knowing it, and I'll be like, it'll be a little better. But
I think I might
I know
drag
we're
the entire
doing
thing
we're doing
down
decor right
conversely.
now. We're doing decor right now, and I'm complaining a lot about cliches and tropes and stuff. I love cliches and tropes. There's just like the really bad ones that people think for some reason are really good, but they're actually really not. And those are we've been getting hit by a lot of these tropes recently. But
yeah,
the point is, like, yeah, it's not like this super inventive movie. Yeah, it says a lot of things over and over. It uses a lot of tropes, uses a lot of cliches, and it's like that's not dead on arrival. They're just using the wrong tropes and the wrong cliches. Like, look,
and not using them to much effect.
yeah.
Like,
I agree.
I love Cars. Y'all know this. I love Cars. Talk about a movie that relies overly on tropes and cliches. It used it to form a memorable personality. Even if you don't like the movie, it at least has a memorable personality of it.
Yeah.
All I can tell you about this is that, you know, Zurg isn't Buzz's dad like in Toy Story 2. Which, that trope in itself was a cliche, that scene, but it was funny.
It wasn't even a trope, it was a direct reference.
Yeah, it was a reference.
Well, yeah, but at the point when Toy Story 2 came out, it was a cliche or a trope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the scene with just seeing old old Buzz sitting in the Zurg suit, like bathed in red light when one of the robot troopers comes in to deliver him a message. It's like, well, this is noticeably more indulgent when we're actually owned by Disney, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Like, you're right. You're right. You're 100% right.
It's definitely a bit of a bummer, and I know not all of us agree. And I mean, like, I'm not going to say Onward is like this terrific movie, but like it had something. And then you go to Soul, Luca, and Turning Red, and again, like them or not, I feel like they're all, including Onward, they're all pretty divisive, but they've all like really hit home with people, right? Like they're not. And then Lightyear is just kind of, honestly, I'd probably say technically it might even be better than Onward. I'm not sure, but just in terms of like what I think of it, Onward, even if it was only a little bit of it just made me feel so much more.
I think stuff like Cars inspired by unnamed director's childhood, with his family in, going through the highways and byways of California, or, Onward, based on, the tragic death of your father early on in childhood. Lightyear, I think, does not have as much of an emotional core, which relies it on rather cheap, borrowed moments of manipulation, is because the entire premise was started because Angus MacLane was more idly speculating on the nostalgia for stuff he felt as a kid, which is not quite the same.
I'll give you one
to it.
It's his nostalgia for like sci-fi films, like Star Wars, like Alien, like all these classics. I'm sure he's seen them like recently, but did he remember them like being like boring shot? Because they're not. Like Alien, like it today in 2022 looks gorgeous. Like,
yup. And this film does. They spend a lot in the looks department, but that doesn't make a film.
They spend a lot in the rendering department.
There are good shots. Like, I think there's some very good shots. It's just, I don't want to sound too much like a broken record anymore, so I won't repeat myself. But we've talked about why, like, oh, good shots. Like, that's not enough.
Yeah, it doesn't tell a story.
I think it is kind of funny to, create a realistic spacesuit based on a toy created for an animated movie, and then light it in that atmospheric, moody James Cameron way.
Yeah, just good fucking go for it. Do James Cameron, do Ridley Scott, do George Lucas. Fuck it.
Yeah.
If you're going for like sci-fi classics, like those sci-fi classics were fun. They were they had like many different emotions. They were fun, they were funny, they were scary, they were dramatic. It feels
the problem with homaging great stuff is that the greater the stuff that inspired you is, the more likely you'll wind up with something that's less than the sum of its parts.
Yeah. It's like the what's his name? Oh, Scott McCloud. What he talked about in understanding comics, that like you get like the surface level understanding of your favorite stuff, but unless you don't really get the fundamentals. And I think this is the case of Angus MacLeod. This is his first writing gig, I think. I mean, I can look further, but I think like the only other thing he has is like the some of the shorts like Bernie and the intro to Buzz Lightyear of Star Command: The Adventure Begins.
Oh no.
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah, he has Bernie, he has Small Fry, Toy Story of Terror, Lightyear. I don't think he's gotten much for. I mean, he has a co-writer, but I still don't think he's gotten much like experience.
I mean, he's made his bones, so to speak, in the Pixar mafia, but he's not quite a Don yet.
No. That was a weird thing, that like seeing him scrolling through the credits and just like suddenly seeing him as a senior creative team. Like most of what he's done is like animation, and it's like I'm sure he's done like fantastic animation, but you gotta contribute with story.
Are we gonna have a timer for this?
We've never had a timer for.
I mean, we started at around 8:00, and it's now almost 9:30. Where
so I don't have a timer set up, but Audacity tells you how long it's been since you started, and it's almost just about to hit an hour 15, which is 75 minutes, which is the timer.
I just want to say.
Sorry.
I mean, we never have
know
a
what,
timer for these.
No, let Random
go
talk.
on.
Let Random talk. Let Random talk.
Well, I just want to say, like, this might all go into my final thoughts, but I think it's. I don't know. You know what? No, I'll save it for my final thoughts.
I mean, do we want to get to the final thoughts, or do we have more to say about 2022's light snack?
What is there to say?
I'm trying to
I-
think of
Long
anything else.
last.
If we're gonna talk positives, I'll say this as a sci-fi nerd myself. I like some of the sci-fi concepts, like I wish that the transporter thing that they were setting up very, very heavily. I wish it was a little smarter with that, a little clever, because the most we had is that like at one point one of the Taiki Watiti, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Taika Waititi
Taika.
is
Taika, okay.
he creates an infinite loop with the transporter button.
Yeah, it puts in a loop. It also reminded me of Portal. Weirdly, when
Yeah.
we're talking about video games.
I got that vibe too.
It's like, okay, there's a cute little thing, and I was like, could we have like a little more with this? Because this seems like you.
I was fully expecting that old Buzz was going to be hoisted by his own petard, and that transporter would just shoot him out into space.
Sure, something. Like
climax.
you start this. If you're gonna do like some hard sci-fi, and this is still pretty soft sci-fi overall, but if you're gonna do some hard sci-fi, then get creative with it. Expand on these ideas. What do you got?
It's hard sci-fi in the sense that they need helmets to breathe. That's pretty much where it stops.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even mention like all the Toy Story quotes, the inexplicable Toy Story quotes.
Just all of them, like they're mostly in the beginning of the film. Like
There's
literally,
fucking pepper
lead
throughout.
balloons, every single one of them.
yeah.
Star Command, come in, Star Command. Why won't they answer? So forced.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
I actually missed that one.
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
I
I was
think I missed that
waiting
one
for
too.
her. I was waiting for because that's when we meet Hawthorne, and I was expecting her to be like, "Hello." I'm glad they didn't at least do that, but it's still the damage is done.
Like she says, like nobody reads those. Nobody reads those logs, and I only recently found out that that's taken verbatim from Buzz Lightyear's Star Command: The Adventure Begins.
Really?
That's exactly like Buzz does the exact same narration, and his trusty friend, his trusty friend Warp Dark Matter.
Yeah. Who's totally not
he says
evil.
Nobody reads those things anyway. It's like
Final
exactly the
thoughts?
My trusted friend Daniel J. Betrayal.
same.
Yeah, totally won't be evil. Totally won't go for Zurg. Totally won't get murdered. In order to switch sides.
I'll say this. This is the first time in a while that we've had a first impressions where we run out around the time that we would usually run out. Around the time.
Well, final thoughts could take a while. Who knows?
Yeah, let's. I'm ready for final thoughts.
You ready?
So all right, let me word it like this. Rancid, would you like to go first, or would you like to not?
I'll go first, get it out of the way. This is quite I'm not really bothered by the muted color scheme because the film clearly has a look that it's going for, and it's not terribly visual dynamic in that regard, but I can at least respect it for trying its own thing. The problem is that it does not nearly try enough of its own thing. It's at its core deeply indebted to an earlier work, and what is left is some very thinly stretched platitudes. Like, we didn't even talk about those isolation cones, which are literally keeping them apart from each other, and they have to,
Yeah.
join in a group
Oh
hug.
yeah, I
And
forgot
Let
about
me
that.
you can fucking keep that, but
I mean,
God, there's just the endless reiteration. I guess children do love Toy Story, but I feel like the core for all this stuff is um adult fans with children, and who have grown up to see a new generation appreciate it. But it's like, if you are not going to respect the ability of children to grasp very basic concepts like teamwork and friendship, God, the fucking Care Bears don't talk about friendship as much as these people do. But if you can't, if you if you think you've got to dumb it down for them, at least please spare a thought for the parents in the audience that have to watch this stuff. Have to watch this stuff in the theater, mind you, because no Disney Plus same day streaming. Thank you very much. We are they gambled and they lost their shirts on this one, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
it's
telling
just have a little care that you put into every other facet. Just understand that your audience is smart, and be smart about this. Like, kids don't get enough credit, and just this samey, repetitive mush that wears you down. It's not going to ironically, it's not going to create the best of childhood memories. So no, I
Okay.
didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. There are
You either
things
go
to
see
like,
it or you don't.
and in this case, most people have chosen B.
Don't.
I would say good call.
So I guess this is where I pass the stick with the feather over. Claire, what did you think?
I did not think very much. It again,
same.
there's good things about it. It's not, and this isn't even like a me and my dick kind of thing where yes, there's good to it. That's not the point. It's rotten and foul. I would not describe this as rotten and foul, like not even close. There's bad things about it, don't get me wrong, but rotten, foul, like no. I wouldn't even go as far as say like problematic. Like it's just like the worst thing I can really say is that it's boring. But that, in that adjective lies the problem. I can think of so many movies, Pixar or not, but we'll stick to Pixar. I can think of so many Pixar films that I'm not crazy about, but I feel things towards, like Cars 3, a really freaking dumb film, but I like the competitive edge that it has. The journey of Lightning McQueen as a competitor. Good Dinosaur is a freaking mess, but God, can I not stop laughing while I'm watching this mess? It's like watching a train wreck. It's terrible, but I can't look away. I'm enamored. Toy Story 4, I hate that it exists, and the fact that it exists in itself, I think, is a crippling flaw, but it has things like Forky and Gabby Gabby, so, like, yeah, I watch Lightyear, and I walked out of the theater thinking, man, I should have had lunch today. I had a little breakfast. I should have just bit the bullet, had lunch. I would feel better. Oh, that's right. I just saw a movie. I like socks. Wash, you go next.
Okay, fine. I'll first ask this question because what Rancid said suddenly got me thinking back to the Street Fighter conversation. Do you do you think this was supposed to be like a dad film? And like in the similar vein to, I mean, Street Fighter is like
In
a
terms of
million
its
times more fun.
corniness,
I still don't like it as much as you three do, but it is a million times more fun than this. But like the same sort of like a movie that like dad can enjoy for a bit and then just kind of doze off.
No,
for half
because
of
it's
it.
animated.
no, it's very.
No.
I would say there are maybe no dad movies that are animated. They mostly tend to either be about whether it's about World War II or Liam Neeson investigating kidnapping. It's generally about revenging yourself against Europeans. Generally the thing is that I guess the only way I can call it similar to a dad movie is that, much like a dad movie, it repeats itself for the benefit of those who have possibly fallen asleep in an armchair.
Well, I mean, I walked into the movie late, so it helped once or twice, but also, like, not all dads hate animation, but all dads hate animation, you know?
We are talking like
my
capital-
one counter example is Sausage Party, but for a very different reason.
No,
That's my dad's
Sausage
movie.
Sausage Party is a weird uncle movie. And there's a
Yes, oh my
difference.
god. Absolutely.
My dad is the weird uncle then, I'm sorry. He
My
really likes
condolences.
those kind of comedies.
No, I think that there's really nothing that comes into, besides the general cliched nature of it all, there's really nothing that comes into being a 90s throwback beyond those weird out of place title cards for nobody about nothing that introduce a bizarre and confusing meta narrative to what is otherwise a fairly straightforward, boring film. Like, I don't know why they felt the need to include that. It cuts the legs out from under them, like right at the jump.
I'm very glad you brought that up because it's a good way for me to frame into to segue into my final thoughts was that opening just made it suddenly just had my brain thinking, and this should not have been a thinking movie because this whole time I'm thinking, how would Andy be watching this? And like I want to say, like Andy would be bored as fuck, and that this is, if anything, he like his relationship to Lightyear the movie should be like an 80s kids relationship with like Ghostbusters, and that they didn't really watch Ghostbusters, they watched the cartoon and the merchandise around the cartoon.
Yeah, I feel like Andy sitting in a theater in 1995 would be sorely wishing he was, I don't know, watching the actual Tim Allen in Jungle to Jungle across the,
I feel
across
like
the theater.
I feel like Andy is the same type of person. Hold on, I feel like Andy is the equivalent of fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender who don't acknowledge the movie exists, but they love the show. So
I don't
think Andy.
Are you saying this is like the equivalent of like a guy who's only seen Boss Baby and thinks that every movie is Boss Baby? Like
It's always Boss Baby. It's
What?
always
No.
Boss Baby.
Getting definite Lightyear vibes from this.
just watching 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I'm getting Lightyear
Watching
vibes.
2001: A Space Odyssey and thinks, this is like Boss Baby.
No, I was just saying, like, you know how fans of Avatar don't acknowledge that the movie.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is that?
I feel
space
like
speed
Andy
if
would be
not a
like-
Boss Baby.
I feel like if Andy
yeah.
existed on, I feel like Andy would be like on the internet right now, being like, "Look, this film is nothing
On
like
the brand
the
new
awesome
World Wide
show."
Web in 1995.
And
Like,
he
I
was
feel
one of the
like-
lucky kids to have an internet, that's all.
Yeah, of
And
course.
he went on the internet to say, Lightyear is just like Boss Baby.
Yeah,
okay.
I, if nothing else, we can all very thankfully say that we are not one of those people that are hung up on the lack of slavish devotion to Buzz Lightyear canon. I couldn't care.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no.
that was my thing is that like
just make something
because
good.
of the framing device. Because of that framing device, I just had to think back to like they said that they disregarded the cartoon. Fine, whatever. They don't even put the cartoons on Disney Plus. They're burying that damn thing. But like the framing of like this is what Andy watched is just making me think back to like okay Toy Story 2 and like where all these quotes are coming from, and the idea that like Zurg would be like old Buzz. Like I'm trying to picture like and like what is are they saying that like Andy just completely ignored the plot and just came up with like way better stories instead? Like he just really liked the toys and
like,
just came up with Evil Dr. Porkchop by himself because like depressed old Buzz who's still passionate about his mission. It's just not that interesting for playtime.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all responsible kids do, is that they completely ignore the cartoon and they just do whatever. Like,
yeah,
who's to say that? I mean, even with the sudden application of a hat, Buzz Lightyear becomes dainty Mrs. Nesbit.
With that, Random is still
okay. I'll wrap up my final thoughts because I barely got into it. It was boring. It was boring. I agree with everybody that like I couldn't hate this film. If there's somebody there that like hates this, then like damn, you need to like reprioritize yourself. But
that's what I was saying when we were watching the Mater tunes, but nobody listened to me.
Fuck off, Random. What do you have to say?
I don't hate this movie, and I don't dislike it more than The Good Dinosaur. No matter what happens.
Weirded out if you did.
No, Good Dinosaur is a special level of hell that hopefully never gets topped. I say hopefully because why? Maybe this is the inner Toy Story fan in me. Maybe this is the slight casual being a fan of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command in me. Maybe it's the fact that I just watched Wayne Knight Zurg minutes before recording, and I just was like, this is so much
Killing
better.
It, by the way.
Killing it. Literally.
A delight.
The best and only interpretation of Zurg I will accept now. At least compared to this. I don't know why I feel so bummed and disappointed. Like, I don't know why. I wasn't looking forward to seeing this in the theaters. I knew it wasn't going to be as good as the previous ones. Why? I mean, I did kind of get a little bit into it, but like, I still was like, but it's like, it's something, and then the twist happened, and I just gave up. I think the fact that it's boring bothers me more than if it was like awfully bad. It's not awfully bad. It's not. It's not Good Dinosaur. It's not Cars 2.
At least respect me enough to give me a failure.
Yeah. We've said that in the past, haven't we? Like it's kind of more offensive when the film doesn't give us anything to talk about.
And that's the issue. It feels like this movie was made to sell toys. That's all it feels like. And I know this because I work at a grocery store, and guess what I saw the day I was seeing this? Fucking Toys of Lightyear. And
you saw a toy based on a movie, based on a toy, based on a movie.
About toys.
Based on a toy.
I just
based on the concept of
and the fact and I actually wanted to give this film the benefit of the doubt. Like I wanted to be like, okay, it's related to Toy Story, but it's technically its own thing. But the fucking intro wouldn't let me. So even then, I still can't stop thinking about Toy Story, which
Weird fucking thought experiment.
Oh my god, I've it's been a while since I've been disappointed with a Pixar film. It's been a while, and I don't know why, because truly didn't expect much. Maybe it's my inner Buzz Lightyear fan, because I was one of the people who liked Buzz more than Woody. Maybe it's the fact that I enjoyed the video games of Buzz Lightyear: A Star Command. It was my first Game Boy game, actually. Or maybe it's just the fact that, like, while all the other Pixar films feel like they have an identity of one way or another, this doesn't. It feels like it is a parasite leeching off of its most famous predecessor and struggling to survive in some form of creative, like, purgatory. And I don't like it. I don't.
No?
But,
No?
like, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. And
I said that.
I don't know. I'm bummed, man. This film bummed me out. And
This is like without saying what movie it was because it's not out yet at the time. When we wrapped up our first Decor episode, that reminded me a lot of how I felt.
Yep.
I can empathize.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I didn't expect much, but it just bummed me out. And Toy Story ended a long time ago. Stop trying to bring it to life like a disoriented Frankenstein monster.
That's the other frustrating thing. We didn't get to talk about this, but like, Toy Story 4 was 3 years. Toy Story 4 is younger than this podcast.
Yep.
we could be more nostalgic.
And honestly, sorry, continue.
So we could be more nostalgic about the early days of the podcast than we are about Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 literally came out during Pixarspective.
It did. It was
Like,
our first impression.
Exactly. And like at least with that, like Toy Story 3 came out like what was that, 2010, right? So
Yeah.
like, at least there's like 9 years. It's like, okay, it's like a new generation, fine. This is 3 years later. Who is this for?
I don't think even they know, and I think that the issue, it doesn't have an identity of its own, and I don't think it ever will. And I think that's why this bothers me more than anything else. Because even though it was something from Toys, I expected something, to feel something, to have some sort of opinion on it that wasn't, this was boring and a waste, and just me staring, and they provide the same entertainment as me staring at a desktop for an hour and 45 minutes. And granted, it wasn't that bad. I'm just angry. But I'm just disappointed, and I hate that I'm gonna have to watch this again to really understand my feelings of it. But right now, my problem is it doesn't have an identity of its own, and it really shows, especially compared to all the Pixar films. You know what? Even like, I hate Cars 2 and I hate Good Dinosaur. They have. Okay, Good Dinosaur doesn't really have more of an identity, no, and neither does Cars 2. But Cars 3 has more of an identity than this does.
This is the first one, because this is our fifth Pixar film that we've done like first impressions for, I think. This might be the first one where I don't care about seeing it a second time. I know we will. I don't care.
I'm not in a hurry. We gotta see Turning Red.
We gotta do
We
Turning
still gotta
Red.
see Turning Red. That's the other thing.
We gotta do Last Night in Soho, and that's a whole different series.
We do.
Don't remind me. But
that's my thoughts. It was not good.
We had a nice 2-minute run, but we finally did it. Pixar movies are mid again. The Earth is healing.
we did.
I really hope that's not true. I really hope. I hope this is. I know. Hold on. I hope this is the Bug's Life of the new Pixar era.
I
but Bug's Life is like Lightyear is like the 4th movie of this era.
Like,
no,
I hope
fifth.
this
My
is.
bad.
I hope this is like the remainder of the of the John Lasseter years. I'm just gonna say his fucking name. I hope this is the remainder of it because it very much feels like something that came out of the John Lasseter years, especially the late years, where it was just
The light years.
The light
All right,
years.
I'm just gonna be the one to say this. This isn't the case, but like if we're doing this, is this the red line of new era Pixar films?
No.
No, it doesn't have Frasier, it doesn't have cool aliens.
No, God, I just want to make the joke.
I know it's
Good
the
God.
joke, but give Redline more credit than that.
You're telling me to give Redline more credit.
It's an insult to compare it to Lightyear. I'm sorry. It is.
You're telling me to give Redline more credit.
This is what Lightyear has done to me.
Oh boy.
Actually, if I could skip right to rankings, I would consider Lightyear to be the Monsters University, like probably on par with Monsters University.
We actually
Of
watched
this
that
new
movie very
generation.
recently.
We actually did. It was.
I don't know. That's a barn burner of a question for me. I did not like Monsters University like at all.
I did like it the latest time.
I didn't like it how I thought about it was I decided to watch a whole different movie afterwards just to make me feel better. That's all I have to say about Monster University.
Oh, we watched the we watched Mike's new car afterward.
Yeah.
No, after this
that
I
was
watched
good.
something.
I like that.
Yeah, that was good. I watched something else completely different after that. But we'll talk about that in CinemaSon Part 2. Anyway, that's my thoughts. I don't want to watch this again anytime soon. But I know
Lightyear did not unleash the Panther. Not anything close.
I'll watch it. Whatever. Again, it's like it's like Claire saying. It's like I'm not angry at this. I just don't have much further to say about it. Not much further of an emotion towards this.
I'm just disappointed. That's how I am. I'm not angry. I'm not furious. I'm just disappointed. And
I don't think it's going to enter my rotation of idol movies anytime soon. You know, it's just stuff that you watch to watch things.
I guess, yeah. Just and again, like the fact that it's just supposed to invoke the like classic sci-fi films. Man,
I know.
you think that lowly of Ridley Scott, of John Cameron, of George Lucas? Okay. Well,
this was a cheery episode, wasn't it?
Man, maybe we did need some therapy. Just general therapy.
What happened today? Random. My therapist. I saw a Lightyear today. I understand. Please, what does this diagram remind you of? Me not wanting to watch Lightyear.
No, I thought you were gonna do like the
treatment is simple. Go see Buzz Lightyear, great astronaut. We'll cheer you up.
Wait, what?
I have to finish the mission.
God damn it! I can't believe you beat me to that. You beat me to the Pagliacci. Fuck.
Wait, what? What?
No.
You just like
You were doing the Pagliacci joke. The doctor. I'm depressed. Oh, you go see Pagliacci. He's a wonderful clown that will cheer you up. But doctor, I am Pagliacci.
You know, I think the makeup should have tipped him up when he walked into the office, but I'm not a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Buzz, what happened? I have to. Zurg comes in with just apply that with like Buzz and Zurg. I'm sure you can get some joke. I don't care.
Right now, I'll say this behind the scenes things. Right now, my cat is annoying me, so I've been spending like half of this conversation waving a laser pointer around to get her to stop trying to jump on my PC.
Like the laser pointer that Sox has built in Lightyear the movie.
Oh,
just
God.
like and the wings that turned out to be the pilot ejector seat. Wow.
Yep.
The magic of cinema.
To infinity and beyond.
What the crap ever.
I'm
okay. I
I'm
guess
done.
we're gonna wrap up now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm usually more cheerful than this.
I liked when Socks got his belly.
Yeah, that was nice. That was very nice. Again,
Are you
Socks,
breaking
barely
my
talked about
cat?
Socks. Yeah, we barely talked about Socks.
Socks is literally the best thing about this movie.
yeah.
Peter Sohn, you redeemed yourself a little bit.
Hopefully you'll actually redeem
Let's
yourself
not say
with
things
your
we
own
can't take
film,
back.
too.
Well, when the next film he directs comes out, that'll determine it for sure. But
he's hoping for Elemental, which is coming next year. Actually, the very next film we'll be discussing.
oh my God, you're right. I'm more hyped for that than Lightyear,
Pixar's
honestly.
Zootopia.
Try everything.
What if water had feelings?
You know
What
what?
if fire was racist?
What if Lightyear was a movie?
On the topic of racism, if you like what you listen to, then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Do not ever-
YouTube.com/WRK podcast, and we do denounce racism, obviously. And
Why did you say
Racism. It stinks.
it? Does stink.
You can listen to us in audio form, wrk.simplecast.com. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/WRK podcast, and we'll let you know when the next episode comes out, which is the next one is actually going to be another one-off episode, which Random is definitely working on.
Yep,
So-
I am.
So
Okay, can I vent really quick? When Watch said wrk.simplecast.com, it reminded in the last I was doing the plug and I said wrk.simplecast.com and you cut me off and you were like, no, you said simplecast.wrk, that's wrong. Even though I didn't say that. So I'm just here to make it known.
Nice, I like it. Attacking when they don't edit. I like that.
Okay, fine. I will make it here 1 hour and 48 minutes into this podcast to say I'm sorry for cutting you off.
What
You
has
weren't
it
even
done
right.
to us?
It's like you weren't even right. You were wrong and you cut me off. I was hurt.
I didn't. I listened to it. I know why I heard it that way, but I realized I shouldn't have heard it that way.
Yep. I'm glad I hope you two get that resolved.
I'm glad we got some therapy out of this.
Yes.
I mean, on the one hand, nobody corrected me when I said 2 minute, but on the other hand, nobody corrected you when you said John Cameron. So I think we're even.
Yeah.
With that, I am the Wash.
Oh, that made me laugh more than anything than Lightyear.
Okay.
And that was Count Rancid. Oh, Count Rancid, quickly plug yourself.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm not even on Twitter anymore.
Okay.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I am? I have become a movie based on the general idea of Count Rancid.
Wow, I don't know if that was set up or not, but bravo either way. If it was set up, bravo. If it wasn't, you're off of Twitter, so bravo.
Yes. Count Rancid
night,
is now an
everybody.
exclusive podcast thing. Good night. To infinity and beyond.